Hi guys, welcome back to another edition of Max and Nicky 1000th Time Reactions,
where we react to a song after listening to it for our 1000th time.
We normally release a video every day,
7 days a week.
So please hit that subscribe button
And ding that post notification bell
so you don't miss out on any of our content.
Max is finally back with us.
Back here, and I am back.
He's finally back. You know, he was working on another project, but now you got the duo again, the duo of Max and Nicky.
The dynamic duo of Max and Nicky. If you're new to the channel, what we'd like to do here is listen to the song all the way through without stopping, so as not to disrupt the intention of the artist. And then afterwards, we'll discuss our reactions, go into some in-depth analysis, and talk a little bit about the history of the song and the artist as well.
Well, don't you want to mention what song we're going to...
That's right. What song are we going to do right now?
We're going to do Fleetwood Mac's Everywhere.
Fleetwood Mac's.
No, yeah, we're going to do Everywhere by Fleetwood Mac.
One of their 80s hits.
I like this one a lot. It's a
I've been
Christine
reminded
Christine McVie or McVie, I can't remember.
I forgot. Somebody mentioned that in the comments last time, how to correctly pronounce it, but I think it
might be McVie.
McVie.
I don't. Anyway, it's one of her penned songs, and
right? And I guess I've been getting into this recently because it's been showing up in this commercial. It's a car commercial that's of recent.
I got into this song a long time ago, years ago.
I'm saying I'm getting it into it recently because there is a car commercial that he's utilizing.
You've been re-getting into it recently.
Sure, I don't need to say that though.
Well, people might think that you didn't know about it before.
Well, I did mention that we've listened to this song 1,000
Well, anyway,
times.
let's...
1,000, we say that. Anyway.
We also want to mention that we have another YouTube channel called Max and Nicky, on which we perform oldies tunes, jazz standards, and originals in that vein. And we have comedy videos on there as well if you want to check that out.
But for right now, let's take a listen to Everywhere by Fleetwood Mac. Just kidding, by Fleetwood Mac.
For our 1000th time.
Here we go.
It's a cool song.
It's just it makes you feel good, that song, huh?
You know, there's some.
I can see why they used it in this car commercial. You know, it makes you. I think it's a car commercial that it's been used in recently.
It's interesting.
It makes you want to, makes you feel good driving in a car.
It's interesting how a band who was so prominent in the '70s can adapt their sound to a new decade of sounds, of different sounds, and this song is very '80s influence.
Well, I was gonna say
I mean, there's synthesizers in here.
There's synthesizers. Well, here's what a big thing about it is: the production quality is just it's much more. I'm not sure when true high fidelity came in to practice recording wise. I mean, don't quote me on this or anything. Is that like something that maybe true high fidelity started happening in the 60s, maybe?
I don't know.
But certainly the style of production changed in the 80s, and things are a lot clearer sounding than in the 70s, even, you know? I mean, you could just listen to their recordings, and while things are very clear in the 70s as well, there is something that is, maybe it is just that it's a higher fidelity, I guess, or something. It's just, everything sounds maybe even more upfront. That's another thing about it. Everything's more upfront. That's something that's a big component to modern production style, is particularly with vocals. Everything's very upfront.
Well, also,
you know?
I didn't notice this on the kick drum as much, but I definitely noticed the snare had some gated reverb on it.
That's part of an 80s
that's part of the 80s production style. There was also the guitar, though. You know, that's in the left ear that's kind of rhythmic. You know, it's got that 80s quality to it. I don't know what is put on it. It's a certain reverb that's put on it, maybe a delay, but it sounds like, you know, the kind of guitar you would hear in Beat It, for example, or something that the kind of guitar you would hear in a Motel's song.
Well, I would even see this was later 80s, actually, by the way.
Sure.
This is
87.
87.
Yeah.
So but again, there's a difference even between
the early
Thriller
80s.
Between Thriller and Bad. You can tell, you know, Bad has a cleaner sound to it.
Well, but there's something about the guitar, the guitar on this, though.
Human Nature is quite clean.
The guitar on this song, though, there's something about that quality that sounds like the Motels or something, you know? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like...
Sure.
It's like... there's a sound to it. I don't know what it is, but it's cool.
And it's not obviously chorus effect is a big thing in
it's
the 80s,
not
but
chorus.
It's not chorus.
It's like there's a certain
it could
reverb
be
or
a
delay put on it.
I think it's a delay, probably.
Yeah.
It's probably a delay.
Speaking of delay,
and
there's some cool delay effects that are on the vocals. So it would be like she would go, I want to be with you everywhere. But when the delay happened on everywhere, where that would like meld into these background vocals, probably sung by, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. Or
wait, were they still with the band at that time?
Definitely, yeah.
I thought they might have left.
No. This album, I believe this was the last album that
featured all of them.
I think that.
Oh, by the way, this song was written by both. This song was written by Christine McVie or McVie. I think it's McVie actually.
Okay.
And Lindsey Buckingham. Actually.
Why don't you write in the comments? Just correct us to make sure if it's either McVie or McVie. But this is the last album I believe that Lindsey Buckingham was on before he left the band, before coming back to the band in the mid '90s. I believe. I believe.
Okay. But by the way, well, yes, you are correct that they're all in it still. Stevie Nicks is providing background vocals.
Yeah. So when that delay happens on Christine's voice, it kind of, the delay effect happens and it kind of melds into the background vocals happening on each side of the stereo spectrum, and so it's a really cool effect, actually.
Well, also, I just love those background vocals, especially at the end of the choruses. I want to be with you everywhere. I want to be with you everywhere. I think everywhere. It kind of does this.
Right.
There's something very soothing about it.
Sure.
I like that.
Well, the production is very clean on this.
It's very clean,
even with the vocals.
And there's some interesting percussive moments that are just very subtle. I remember. I think I heard something in the right ear that was just like a taps on something.
I took note of that.
Taps.
I took note of that as well.
And also, obviously in the beginning it has that kind of sequencer sound. That quality of whatever that is, that also doesn't sound like something from before the 80s. It sounds very much 80s and later, you know? I don't know what that is. I mean, that could also have come with, again, digital synthesizers and samplers. That was a big, that made it. That's why the 80s sounds so, since it has a lot of synthesizer stuff, because on a mass production, mass level, commercial level, digital synthesizers and samplers became a big thing, and it made it possible for so many people to start experimenting with that.
Well, I also really like just the opening of the song. It starts with this cool bass line, it's like or something like that, and it's a John McVie, I guess, right?
He's on the bass, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the bass line. It's a grooving bass line going on there,
I'm just looking on here. I guess, by the way, Christine is playing, she's playing the synthesizers and keyboards.
Right.
But it looks like Lindsey Buckingham, I mean, in addition to guitar, that's what the sound you're hearing. There's an auto harp actually on here.
Of what? What sound?
I don't know. Maybe the quality of the.
No. No. That's probably the. That's probably you think it's a sequencer, but that's probably
no. An auto harp.
What does an auto harp do exactly?
I'm pretty sure auto harp is like one of those things. It's a stringed instrument, and it has kind of these buttons that you press it down and it plays to kind of dampen certain notes so that it plays a chord. Like it'll say like E minor on it or something. Right?
No, I think that I think that's different.
What, that instrument that I'm talking about?
No, but that's a guitar for sure.
Yeah. See, I was right. Yeah, it's like one of these things.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought it was.
Auto harp or chord zither, actually.
No, I know. That's what I thought. We're looking at a picture of it right now, and I'm like, no, I know. Our sister owns an auto harp.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, actually, Lindsey Buckingham also did some synthesizer sound, but in addition to Mick Fleetwood playing drums and percussion, it looks like there was also some programmed things on here.
Oh, very good.
Lindsey Buckingham's his drum programmer, actually,
very
interestingly
good.
enough. Isn't that interesting?
They did, the 80s were just such a cool decade for experimentation.
Well, again, as I said, production started using these now available, I mean, it was a new thing in the late 70s, is, digital synthesizers and samplers, and a combination of both in one. Mm-hmm. And so that just led to a lot of people exploring that in the 80s.
Well, I really like, there's another song on this album called Big Love, and I really like that song a lot, especially Lindsey Buckingham plays it solo at his shows, live shows, and it just really shows off his prowess on the guitar. I mean, he's really, his finger picking on that song is just insane, actually.
Really he's a great figure picker, and as I understand, he doesn't use a pick at all.
Right.
Like a regular plectrum pick whenever he's playing guitar. Is that true?
That is true. This is true.
Anyway, just one last note on this.
There's a lot of famous guitarists. Robbie Krieger from The Doors was a finger picker.
Well, also, what's his name that's in... one of those 60s groups. He's a famous guitarist. Although he himself hasn't, as an artist, his songs weren't huge, but he was a famous guitarist. What's one of those one of those bands that have a bird with a bird name?
The Yardbirds?
No. Yes, the
Jeff
Yardbirds.
Beck.
Jeff Beck. Thank you.
This is how you get to the
Jeff Beck. He played with a pick for a long time, but then at one point he decided not to play with a pick anymore, from what I understand.
Interesting. That's an interesting thing.
I think he preferred that sound for some reason. I mean, he can certainly play both, I think. Obviously, he's a great guitarist. Anyway, one more final note on this song. I just wanted to comment on the very last thing with those back and forth vocals. I thought that was kind of a neat thing, like kind of this ping pong effect,
Sure.
I thought that was neat. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this
reaction
video.
If you like what you heard and saw today, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ding that post notification bell so you don't miss out on all our future Max and Nicky reaction videos.
Please keep tuning in.